Okay, so we're back. I finally figured out how to get my microphone to work. I realized in the other clip that it did not work at all, so it was totally pointless for me to hold it. But here I am after I finished yesterday. I completed row 42 to 51 in the chart. I am now at 62 rows total with my collar. I'm about 13 rows, I think, off from finishing the chart. Um, Let me clip you guys so I can show you. But this is where we finished. Pretty good, pretty fire. I got a good chunk done yesterday. I ended up I rolled up another ball of yarn because I ran out of the black, and this is how much blue I have left. I do need to order more. I'm realizing that now. I thought I would have enough. I'm not, for the second time in this project. But I'm going to go as far as I can today to see if I can finish the chart out just for the body. Order more yarn. And then just continue to work on the body until my other yarn comes in. Because I'm thinking that, excuse me, I'm thinking that by the time I complete like all the rounds for the body for it to be long enough, and then do the ribbing for the bottom of the sweater and do the ribbing for the collar, the yarn should be here. It's Friday. So even if I order it today, I'm probably not going to get it until later in the week, Thursday. Yeah, that's my progress. I've really been contemplating frogging the whole thing. Yes, I know that is criminal considering how far I am. But I'm thinking that after this, I probably will make another one. But I'm going to start the chart from the bottom. I started from the bottom up. I'm going to start from the top down the next time. So, and I'm probably going to do a polo. So it'll have like the slit in the middle, and then it'll decrease slowly as it goes up, because I feel like that would be a better alternative to what I have now, because I like open sweaters. And on top of that, I'll probably get that yarn for Christmas and then work on it from there. But it's the 7th of November. So that's like a month and a half away, not too much time. I'm thinking I'll be able to finish this sweater within that time frame. And then I have one other sweater that I'm working on, and then I'm free. I have no other planned crochet projects. I normally because my birthday and Christmas are at the end of the year. They're both in December. I normally get a lot of yarn because I just combine my birthday and Christmas, and I ask for yarn for both of them. So I normally get like a lot of my yarn that I'm going to use throughout the year for my birthday and Christmas. I also am trying to stash bust, which is keyword for collecting more yarn while using the yarn I already have. I don't know if I talked about this, but I had 7 balls of Malbrigo Rio that was Anniversario, and I ended up dyeing that black, but it's not like a true black. It still has like tinges of red from where the yarn was red. I couldn't get a good saturated black. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that yarn, and if it's enough for me to do another pattern sweater like this with the chart. Because there are a few knitted sweaters I have my eye on, and I also have what's it called? I bought a sock, like a knitting sock book where it's just a bunch of grid patterns for socks, like repeating patterns. And there's a skull one in there that I think is really cute. There's also this mushroom sweater that from Hobie that I think is really cute that's like a grid pattern. I was thinking about combining those two and making a polo. Um but I don't have enough yarn for that sweater. A lot of yarn that I bought, I was thinking like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be enough for a project," but it wasn't. Cuz some yarns I have like 800 yards of. So I really just need like then a decent like main color or something like that, or maybe a shawl or a good project. I don't have anything in mind. But that's where we're at with this. I'm going to keep trekking away. I am most definitely going to finish. God damn. I'm most definitely going to finish the rest, excuse me, of my pattern today. Not like, I'm going to try to finish the chart. Like I said, this is how much blue I have left. When I was working with the black, it actually got me pretty far when I had that much left. But the last 13 rows, I'm going to try to knock it out. And I will be back when I either finish the blue yarn or I knock those 13 rows out. Okay, so I finally got my new yarn in the mail. I already have it caked up and everything. And then this is how much I have of that ball of black. It's like days later at this point. I finished the chart for the body. So this is what we are looking like. I think this is, I'm on row for myself like 75. So we're pretty good. I think it hits my belly button. So I don't have that much more to go, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm gonna do like another 10-15 more rows for the body and then do the ribbing. I'm not really too sure about the length. I'm like, let me move you guys over so I can show you. But I'm like, let me make sure my shirt's fine because I have a hoodie on. Oh well, I'll survive. I'm also working on crocheting a Naruto plushie, so there's also that. That's what I've been doing as I'm waiting for my yarn. Let me grab my yarn ball. But is this? Yes, this is the back. I have not tried this on in a minute. I basically tried it on to see. Oh, I've got a lot of space. I did not think that it was going to be this wide. I might put some decreases in. It's like, so, I didn't think it was going to be this wide. But as you can see, it almost reaches my belly button. So I'm probably going to do this much more maybe. So it'll sit here. Or I could just really just do some ribbing and cinch it in here. I'm not really against that. I don't know if I want a super cropped sweater. I did not realize that there was going to be this much space. But I wanted, it's not tight underneath my arms because it fits my bust. But like me moving before, I had a hard time getting it over my shoulders. So I'm thinking I might do some decrease rows. Or I'm gonna go maybe a few inches and then just do super tight ribbing to try and cinch it in. This is on me. It is. Because I added like a lot of inches underneath here, like right where my bust would be to make room for my bust, but I didn't do any decreases. It's still very cute though. Like, the collar is not too bad. Don't know if I love it. This is one of those projects where I'm like, yeah, I need to learn how to knit so that I can redo this. I'm also glad that I chose to split for the body, where I split for the body, because otherwise it just would not, it would be wrong. And now I'm kind of concerned because if I repeat this chart all the way down, it's probably going to be like down to here. Like, because sleeves for me always turn out longer, or at least down to here, which is super long. We'll see. I'm going to work on the body some more, and then we'll see how that turns out, because at this point I'm just doing rounds in black. I have no more chart to do, as you can see from where I cut the yarn off. I did not think that the chart was going to turn out that well, but it is super clear. Also very big. I'm using a 4mm hook. So that's small for this yarn, so it's super tight. You can see a little bit of the blue. I did add like these extra on the side. Don't know if I regret that now, but still cute. I'll be back. So I put my sweater down for like a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. But I just did like 4 or 5 rows. And for me, this is long enough. Wow, it just looks like it gets so wide at the bottom. I'm gonna do some ribbing. I am not sure what ribbing I'm gonna do. I think I'm probably gonna chain 10 at least and get like this much. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna do single crochet or half double crochet with 3 spaces in between. So one of the two. I'm gonna get started on that. This is how much my ball of yarn is left, and I'm gonna go from there. I'm back. It's some umpteenth amount of time later. So I think the last time I was gonna work on my collar, the ribbing for that, I did that. I finished that. So at first I chained 6, and then I half double crocheted 5, and then I did 3 chain spaces, and it ended up being too big. So then I went with chaining 4 spaces instead, and that was perfect. I feel like it sucked it in just the right amount. Now it fits. I've already started. I'm doing a sleeve today. That's my goal, to get the grid done for the sleeve. I started at row 37. I am now on row 41, so I am making some progress. I did some front loops on the stitches down here so that I can try to separate it from the body, because I don't know how long it was going to be before, which tightened up the armpit a little bit, which I'm not mad at. I feel like I should have split for the body earlier, but it's a little too late to be making those decisions and feelings known. It's way too late for that. The body's done. I think I showed the bottom ribbing, but that's been done. I did the collar ribbing because I didn't want to work on a sleeve. Now I'm working on a sleeve. I think I've got like 20 something rows left. Let me see. I've got 24 rows left to do for the sleeve, which I should be able to get done today. Like, I'm not stressed about it. I'm going to work on it. And then when I'm done, or at some point when I finish today, I'll check back in. I also think that I have like this much of wiggle room in my sleeve, which I think is a lot. So I'm thinking, since I have 24 more rows left to do, I'm going to throw some increases in there. Because where we're sitting now, we're pretty close to the elbow. I want to do a couple more increases before I get to the elbow, and then do a few more when I get below, so that it's not like a completely open sleeve. So we'll see how that goes.